Hello people, it's your boy Osman back again with another video. First and foremost, Manchester United v Chelsea in the FA Cup at the Bridge. A very good matchup. You know, I'm not going to lie, when I first saw the draw I was a bit gutted because I wanted someone easier. But then now I think about it in hindsight, we got to play all the big teams anyway, so we might as well knock them out now. Basically, we're going to run London out. We've already battered Arsenal at home, we've already battered Spurs at their own ground, and we're going to go up to the Bridge and batter them as well. So you may as well crown us the flipping kings of London. But not on a level. It's good to have those tests, really, to be honest with you, for Solskjaer. We're going to play them again as well, I believe, in the league as well. So it should be interesting to see how we get on in those games. Also, just want to quickly shout out Saeed, who's sorting me out with tickets for the game against Burnley, which is obviously the preview, well, the video to the preview. Obviously, if I do go to the game, I will try my best to vlog it. I can't guarantee that because I don't know the situation. Basically, long story short, I'm not sure if I'm definitely got the tickets. He said that he'll reserve them for me, but obviously if someone goes and buys them or pays him right now, this instant, while I'm making this video, then I'm sure he'll probably give it to them. But we'll see what happens. If not, I'll just have a match reaction as normal. That aside, Manchester United v Burnley at OT. It should be an interesting game. Burnley, off the back of a 5-0 absolute demolition, from Manchester City. Well, Man City just absolutely battering everyone at the moment, to be fair to them. Yeah, to be honest, we're on the very same warpath as Man City. Well, obviously not on the same level as them, but we are playing a similar style of football in the sense that we are gun-ho at the beginning of the game and we're just going for the kill, which is exactly what you associate with Man United. But first and foremost, do want to say that Burnley are actually on a decent run of form currently. They started so poorly in the league, and for me personally, I was thinking Burnley is just a free win, isn't it, really? But they have picked up the performances that are actually played half decent. I'm not 100% sure if it was this season if we played them when we won 2-0 and Lukaku got both the goals. I might be wrong, but Lukaku obviously scoring against Arsenal as well. Does that mean Lukaku, getting the assist against Arsenal, does that mean Lukaku has done enough to start on the right wing? For me personally, absolutely not. I don't think he was good enough, although he had obviously those two moments of brilliance to set up the goals. First and foremost, the one for Sanchez was absolutely exquisite pass. If anyone else did that, I'd be waxing lyrical. So I'm going to give full credit where it is due. A fantastic defence splitting pass by Lukaku. And the second one, again, he has to have the composure to pick out Lingard. I expect someone who is a Premier League footballer to do that, but you've seen in the past with our players making the poor decisions. So fair play to him again. Can't knock him, but overall, I don't think his performance was great. Again, Sanchez getting a goal as well. I don't think his overall performance was fantastic. So for me personally, they both don't really worry and start on the back of their performance. And to be honest with you, I don't see why we would change it. One thing I will say is I was massively happy with Bailly coming in against Arsenal. I thought he was very, very solid at the back alongside Lindelof, so that was a massive positive for me. But yeah, in general, I just don't see why you would go and change too much. Obviously, the winning formula has been Rashford, Lingard and Martial, so I would keep that. At the back, Ashley Young was a weak link against Arsenal again, so that's something that we need to think about in the future. But for now, I would keep that. I would keep that back four. So I'm going to quickly go through my team lineup. Pretty self-explanatory. De Gea in there, back four exactly same as Arsenal's, midfield same as Arsenal's, and the front three I will put Rashford, Martial and Lingard back up there. Lingard, to be fair to him, has been playing a false nine. You know, a lot of people have been saying to me, Usman, what is your opinion on Lingard? Do you rate him as a Man United player? First and foremost, I've said this on so many occasions. I've just said it on the football podcast as well. For me personally, Lingard is... Firstly, he's unbelievable in big games. He's always delivering in big games, so I've got to give him credit when it's due. Again, I thought he was very good in the second half. A lot of people were saying he was fantastic, sublime. I thought in the first half, most of our players didn't really do that well. I know we went 2-1 up in the first half into the break, but I don't think we were fantastic. We were just ruthless on the break. Lingard, for me personally, was frustrating me quite a bit in the first half, as well as Sanchez and Lukaku. I just don't think they were doing enough to control the ball. They weren't creating enough opportunities. But in the second half, Lingard was very good. His movement off the ball again, pretty much Firmino. What Firmino does for Liverpool, Lingard has been doing that for us in the last couple of games when he's been playing that fast nine. And you can't underestimate what he's done for the team. His work rate is unbelievable. For me personally, in the big games, like I've said, I think he's probably one of the first names on the team sheet after Pogba and De Gea, I would say. And well, I suppose you could put Lindelof in that bracket as well. You say them four, probably the first four people that you put on the team sheet, they pick themselves now, especially in these big games that we're going to have in February, March time. So yeah, for me personally, in big games, Lingard is absolutely fantastic. In games against Burnley and other teams that are going to sit back and try to contain us, I'm not going to say I'm criticising him, but that's why I think he may struggle a bit because his quality of pass, or he hasn't got that sort of killer pass. Don't get me wrong, he has got goals in him, of course, but it's just that sort of intricate pass that Mata has. I'm not saying I want Mata to play, but I'm just saying Mata has that quality to obviously find that pass. I don't think Lingard can unlock a defence with that sort of defence splitting pass. But to be fair, I didn't think Lukaku could do that as well, so you never know. I'm sure under Solskjaer he has other things that he wants to improve Lingard, and obviously, to be fair, Lingard has improved massively already, so it's interesting. It's good to see the versatility in the front three. Like I said, Lukaku and Sanchez playing the last game. They both contribute to the goals massively, and it's just good to see good rotation of the squad and all the players chipping in with goals and assists. That's kind of what you want, and it's a good sort of dilemma for Solskjaer to have. Anyways, going to the game itself, for me personally, I don't see why we would change any way which we play. I'm expecting them to try and be as compact as they possibly can. They're going to try and frustrate us as much as they possibly can. You know, Sean Dyche is somebody who tends to quite try to nullify the attack of the opposition, a bit like a B-Tech Jose Mourinho when he parks a bus, which is fair enough. Obviously, you come into Old Trafford, I'm not expecting them to play expansive football, and you wouldn't associate that kind of football against them with them anyway. So I think, to be fair, although I'm expecting us to score quite a few goals, I think it's going to be very frustrating prior to us scoring the first goal. As soon as we get the first goal, then that's when you're going to see the game open up, and that's when you're going to see us absolutely destroy them. But prior to that, I can imagine it being very frustrating if we don't score early on, because Burnley on the day are very good defensively. The keeper's very good. I think Heaton's going to be playing as well in net. So obviously we're well aware of him. He's a very good keeper. He's from United Academy as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, in general, for me personally, it's just going to come down to the movement in and around the box. For me, Rashford has to continue to stretch the play. Marcel, for me, was massively disappointing when he came on against Arsenal. I know he got the goal that wins the game, but for me personally, he just looked like he lacked a bit of confidence. He wasn't driving at his defender. He was a bit hesitant. He frustrates me in the sense that he has so much ability, but I just think his decision making, like the other lads, like Lingard and Rashford, isn't fantastic. Although Rashford and Lingard decisions of late have been very good, but for me personally, Marcel, it's like he doesn't know what he wants to do. Like, if you want to attack the defender, attack him with actual sort of intent to get past him. He kind of does that thing. He runs at him and he stops. He slows down the play. I'd rather he just run at him and or he quickly passed the ball on and made a run off the ball. You don't see him as often making that running behind the game, which is massively frustrating. We need someone to be doing that consistently throughout this game. So that's why it's very important that Lukaku and Sanchez do not play. Do not start, because they both want the ball to feet, and that's going to play into Burnley's hands. We need willing runners consistently throughout the game. So for me personally, it's an absolute no-brainer to play Rashford, Martial and Lingard. All three of them willing to run it, with the exclusion of Martial, but the other two are willing runners in behind consistently. Marcel, for me, has to do that more, especially in a game where there's not going to be much space. It's going to be quite tight, and we need to try to stretch them, get the defenders coming out of positions, getting them in positions that they don't want to be, and also the fullbacks have to push as far as they possibly can, give us that width, so the likes of Lingard and Marcel can tuck in and obviously play as the right forward, left forward, alongside Rashford up front. But yeah, for me personally, it should be a very straightforward game. I just think it's going to be very frustrating, mainly because they're going to be very well drilled at the back. Again, Pogba was absolutely fantastic in the second half. Again, I didn't think he was very good in the first half, but he was absolute. I've got to say, I don't use his word often enough, but he was world class in that second half. World class. His run for that third goal. Yes, I know he didn't score, but absolutely demolished them, and it wasn't the only run he made in the game. He made several runs in the game, and so for me personally, it's good to see Pogba doing that, picking the ball up and driving the ball. That's what I want to see from him in this game. I want to see him in those pockets of space at the edge of the box, taking pop shots, taking as many shots as he possibly can. He's got the capabilities of finding the net. We've seen in the past, not just for Juventus, but he scored a couple of decent goals for United from the edge of the box as well. So I want to hopefully get him in those areas where he can cause them as much problem as we possibly we can. Herrera and Matic again, unsung heroes to an extent, but I suppose Herrera's getting a lot of praise and credit, and rightly so. He was fantastic as well. So you could argue Fred could play instead of Herrera, and because it is Burnley, they can sit back. But for me personally, I wouldn't change it too much. I think it's important that we do have consistency within the squad, not overly do it with rotation just for the sake of rotating and giving players minutes, because you can always bring those players on. And obviously 60th minute, if we haven't scored, we have got the likes of Lukaku, Sanchez, and even Fred to unlock a defence, even Mata on the bench. So I'm massively confident going into this game. You know, 8 in a row. It should really be 9 after this game, but you never know in the Premier League. I'm not going to get too carried away because you just never know. Obviously, Burnley are a team that can frustrate, you know, the bigger teams because they just have that ability to suck the life out of the game. But I'm going to go 7-0. 7-0 Manchester United. No, I'm joking. I'm going to say 4-0 actually. I'm going to say 4-0. I'm expecting to score in the first half and then just kick on from there because they're not going to pose that much threat, minus from set pieces as every team do. Is it Barnes? Is Barnes playing? He's quite good in there. I'm not going to lie, I've not checked who's injured for them. So if he is playing, then I would imagine he's going to pose a bit of a threat going forward. He's very good at holding the ball as well. So yeah, he might have a bit of an outlet, but overall, it should be light work. Let's make no mistake about it. Yeah, 4-0 Man United, that's my opinion. Like I said, if I am going to the game, I will try my best to do a match day vlog. Obviously, can't guarantee that. But if not, I will just do reaction like normal. Anyways, subscribe if you do, drop a like, all that good stuff. Leave your comments regarding your score predictions, your lineup. Do you agree with what I said? Do you disagree? Am I going into this game too confident? The only one thing I will add to this whole video is that hopefully the players don't go into this game with complacency. I'm pretty sure under Solskjaer they won't, because he is a United man and he knows exactly what Ferguson would do in these scenarios. So hopefully that is the only concern, that they're too complacent and the intensity is not there, because against Arsenal in the first half it wasn't there for me personally, although we did go 2-0 2-1 sorry at half time. But anyways, that said, it's been your boy Swan. Kill United, come on.